10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ouch! Sabay na!
Oh, jeez. Thunder Predators turn to ban. Thunder Predators turn to ban. Thunder Predators turn to ban.
It's remaining.
OGs turn to pick.
Dusk.
Thunder Predators turn to ban.
It's remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
OGs turn to pick.
Dusk.
Wind Ranger at your service.
Thunder Predators
seconds
turn to
remaining.
bat.
It's remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to pick.
The sky.
Wind Ranger at your service.
Thunder Predators
seconds
turn to
remaining.
bat.
It's remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to pick.
The sky.
Wind Ranger at your service.
Thunder Predators turn to pick. Thunder Predators
seconds
turn to
remaining.
bat.
It's remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to pick.
The sky.
5
Wind
seconds
Ranger at your
remaining.
service.
Thunder Predators turn to pick. OG's turn to bat. Thunder Predators
seconds
turn to
remaining.
bat.
It's remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to pick.
The
10
sky.
seconds
Wind Ranger at your
remaining.
service.
5
Thunder
seconds
Predators
remaining.
turn to pick. OG's turn to bat. Thunder Predators
seconds
turn to
remaining.
bat.
It's remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to pick.
The
10
sky.
seconds
Wind Ranger at your
remaining.
service.
5
Thunder
seconds
Predators
remaining.
turn to pick. OG's turn to bat. Thunder Predators
seconds
turn to
remaining.
bat.
It's remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to pick.
The
10
sky.
seconds
Wind Ranger at your
remaining.
service.
5
Thunder
seconds
Predators
remaining.
turn to pick. OG's Thunder Predators turn to bat. OG's turn to bat. Thunder Predators
seconds
turn to
remaining.
bat. OG's turn to pick.
The
10
sky.
seconds
Wind Ranger at your
remaining.
service.
OG's turn to pick.
The
Thunder
sky.
Wind Ranger at your service.
OG's turn to pick.
Ten seconds remaining.
Thunder Predators turn to pick.
Void incarnate.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Out! Spain out! Spain!
Faceless
You may
Void.
now select your heroes.
Out! Spain out! Spain!
Some things were just not meant to be.
Out!
Discipline,
Spain
discipline, guys.
Spain!
真恶心啊！
Just as I envisaged. Just
Spain!
The battle begins.
Who wants cookies? Well, too bad.
Awaken with the four heroes outside of the void and outside of those chrono cooldowns. If those four can sort of hold back the aggression that OG's full five-man lineup is going to be bringing them in the mid game.
Yeah.
Because without a doubt, it is on paper, it's a good void game.
It is.
As it goes on.
Absolutely, and they have ways to address the I never want to say like just the only team fight on OG, but the majority of the team fight on OG is going to be Phoenix, and they have a Snapfire. So they're always going to have a way to answer to that egg from Sacred. And I love how they always do this on the side of Thunder Awakens, one of the only teams that we've seen in a long time that does offlane snap.
I mean, and they're so good at it
They are.
as well, right? Sacred has had some incredible games this major on the offlane snap.
Lane setups, kind of, I actually like how OG has it set up right now. The fire, I know SBG talked about on panel, Fire Spirits versus tag team can be very effective.
We'll see how well they're able to do in the lane and see if they're able to slow down Uragi at all. It's going to be tough. As TK, one of the reasons why we're seeing him game after game after game. He's a very, very reliable hero in all stages, including the laning. Top lane, and they're getting a little low here. Those hits in, and has to be careful once the level 2s are there. We'll definitely see them try and go for the kill, try for the burst.
Strong lane for OG, but we are seeing Pakaz still get 3 last hits. We'll suffer though. He's gonna get hit so much in this top lane as the Void.
And of course in that mid lane matchup, I mean, how do you expect this one to go down? Should BCM get a solid start here against Dark Margot, or Dark Margot able to bully him early?
Nah, I'd imagine they're both just gonna be able to get a good amount of free farm. It's hard to bully the Void Spirit when you're Mars. You're both just melee heroes. You both have ways to clear wave. And you both have kind of this damage reduction. If he does go for like Bulwark, you have the absorption with Resonant Pulse too, so I think it would be pretty even. Maybe Dark Mago gets slightly ahead on denies perhaps, but I don't know, it's probably just about even. Bottom. Taiga forced to dive away. Matthew gets a pull off.
With the mid lane, is definitely the huge focus is going to be around the first power rune at 6 minutes in. Because without a doubt, you look at these two mids, both could be incredibly explosive if they get that right rune. Top lane, Amar getting a good link off. Bash is from Amar still there. Amar trying to stand his ground to take down Panda, but it's going to be Amar that falls first.
That's a big deal. The Void lane killing the Razor lane, that's not something you'd expect.
Absolutely not, and that's the one thing. You may be able to, of course, drain the damage, but that bonus from the time lock still going to be hitting in.
Just that little bit, and he did get the 1 bash, so it all does add up. And Panda, he did go for the Decrepify at level 2, so he's going to be able to get that extra damage and potentially protect also versus Pakaz. Seems a lot of variety when I see this 5 position Pugna between what they get at level 2.
Nice dodge there from Pakaz as well, making sure he gets himself back up to full HP with the salve.
And immediately after they get the kill, he buys boots. So ways to distance himself from the link, ways to get on top of the Wind Ranger as well. Now they have a pretty good speed advantage, I would say, in the top lane. 345 on Void, 330 on the Pugna. Looking at the 2 heroes on the side of OG, it's 290s. So should be able to distance himself pretty easily from both of the targets.
Very unlikely to see Pakaz himself die in this lane now. For Panda, he does still have to be careful with his positioning, but so far so good from him here.
Getting a lot of pulls already. I'm seeing Thunder Awakens. They got the top pull off, they get the bottom pull off, so lanes reflecting that a bit. Still seeing the Razor dominating the last hits, but it's to be expected, a Razor versus Void matchup.
What can I say?
But as we said, that kill, very important.
And bottom, when you sort of look towards the potential of the Tusk and the Snapfire early on, do you imagine we'll see them have a chance to get aggressive, look for any kills down here?
Absolutely. It's any time that anyone gets out of position. Even the CK can die. You see Matthews holding skill points just in case of an opportunity that he sees to go for it. Because, you know, like we're mentioning, when Phoenix is there, the Fire Spirits are going to be able to counter tag team. But when he's not there, if they do have 2 points in tag team, potentially they could just go for Uragi.
Tiger himself also having to be careful. Anytime he ends up having to use that dive,
Edge down.
have to be cautious whilst it's on cooldown. Matthew's not able to get in and trap him.
They do have 2 different ways to kind of disrupt that. When they have Snowball, when they have Cookie, they could just stop it in midair. The shards also can catch him afterwards, so Taiga does have to be quite careful with his positioning.
In the mid.
Dire's
Top lane step. We'll be able to find a courier.
Alrighty.
Still a bit of money there for himself and the team. And the CS on that top, 19-5, 19-2. So again, I think this is
doing well.
Very impressive from Pakaz that he's getting the same amount of CS out of this lane as Amar's Razor.
It's quite massive for sure. Bottom, we see a lot of teams been doing this, especially when the pull gets stacked. Instead of playing the lane after that, you go and contest the pull, just clear it so they can't deny a full wave. Nicely done from Thunder Awakens. Taiga getting confident, has 8 stick charges plus a Fairy Fire, so tanky Phoenix at this point. And bottom, getting aggressive.
Leading on to Sacred. Sacred will be able to cookie over towards Tiger. And they won't have any further damage here to threaten the Snapfire. Sacred more than fine. He's got those early stats. Matthew drop as well. He's very hard to burst through.
Matthew still holding skill points, just waiting for which opportunity, what it's going to be that he needs in the situation. Do love when I see players doing that.
in the mid, we did have Dark Margot having to take the walk back to base. He'll head back to refuel. He has hit the 6. Let's see what sort of move he can look to make next. 6 minutes coming up on the clock, so the power room will be the focus for the 2 mids. One lane Sacred. He might just go down here. He'll try and cookie to safety. It's ticking down low to the Fire Spirits, but he will live the Tango regen. A Hedrasaur as well, keeping him alive. Over towards the river, BZM. He gets the rune down bottom. Up top though, Seb. Finding himself a bit of a fight here between...
Also, cute little thing, Dark Mago cut the quelling the tree that Seb was trying to shackle to in the river there immediately, so I might have actually connected. Really good little play. They're gonna glyph, try to get a bit more tower damage, and Matthew will move back toward bottom.
Gonna try to get quick with a jump onto Dark Margot.
Won't latch.
Have enough burst between the two of them. Astral Step's going to be up again in a few seconds, but a nice bit from Dark Margot pushing back BZM, making sure he won't have the range to jump back
Bottom.
in. At the same time, we're seeing top of cars. Was thinking about dropping a Chrono to attempt to finish the kill. Bottom lane, Uragi's out with the TP. Chrono having to be used here by Pakaz to keep himself safe. As we did see the rotation there for BZM to try and get the kill on the Void. Pakaz, he'll save himself and back away.
Uragi did TP to the tower. He's going to have Tiger to regen him back up, but it's a massive wave coming in here. Fairly early aggression, as we mentioned, Thunder Awakened, the way they play tends to be like this. Even the early points to point out for Sacred, taking a little shredder early on. The Ice versus the Phoenix.
Back in the middle.
Oh, get him.
Oh, it's going to come. Dark Margot. He's going to get out.
Matthew.
A clutch save there as he turns up in the mid.
And now Seb.
He's in trouble, trapped in the shards. The shards will finally come to an end, but the blast is going to miss. Doesn't matter. Right clicks from Panda. Take out Seb. Thunder Awaken. Starting to show some very nice moves here already in the early game.
Their two supports are always this active. Incredible plays from Matthew this tournament. Always being in the right place at the right time for these saves.
I mean, that was so clutch there. That last moment there.
Second.
Saving Dark Margot, getting him back to base. Making sure that OG, they're not playing the action that they'd hoped for. And it's a quick move from Dark Margot.
There's kisses as well.
OG might not expect this.
It's an easy kill if they do see Uragi. Super active, as we've seen from this team.
There we go. Dark Margot is closed the gap onto Uragi. They get the spear connection. Kisses coming in as well. Thunder Awaken continue to come in with the moves in this early game. Mid lane, they do lose Panda. But getting the bigger kill themselves down bottom. Thunder.
OG gonna be able to turn this into a bit of a push. Thunder has to react. I like that Matthew's gone for the multiple points and shards. I actually like this build more on the Tusk lately. I feel like tag teams just gotten nerfed too many times, and shards and snowballs has been constantly buffed, so glad that he's gone for this build. More AoE, always going to be nice and more burst from a distance. And fun interactions we have too. Tusk shards plus Mars, combo that they can do anywhere. They can always latch that spear to the Tusk shards. And now they're going to get some stacks going on also, just in case. A little bit of a slowdown perhaps with Thunder. Seeing the last hits, OG pulling ahead. That Razor, dominant.
Very, very close to on the network. Pretty much all 6 cores in the game within a couple of hundred of one another. Tiger. Put the cookie into the blast. Then with the shredder damage, they'll take him out. Thunder. Getting these kills now. OG getting caught out a little bit.
And as we pointed out, Sacred, he's got his 3 points in Blast, now going back to put more points in that little Shredder because he wants to get that skill and potential as an offlaner. And yeah, always going to be able to watch Phoenix Egg. They always have something to address it.
Tiger. We get the refuel here for BZM. A few times, you know, BZM, once they did get that bit of action onto the support, and he's been looking for the cores. Thunder reacted. Top situation, Pakaz saving himself with the Chrono, the mid move as well, where Dark Margot was kept alive. It's tough for BZM to find those early kills that he really wants to get. Top. Oh! Trying to attempt here with a shackle, but Pakaz does still have the time walk available. He'll make sure he can get over the tree line, so he's fine.
Dark Mago attempted to go for the Tumbler's Toy into getting the rune, but got caught in the 8th Remnant. So BZM will have a haste rune, so it could get aggressive on these side lanes. Difficult to still gank Pakaz. But could you see him go for Sacred in the bottom lane potentially? As they go for mid.
We're going to try, but the Remnant's going to miss. Dark Margot, he's up to the high ground. CP comes in, Matthew, he's there, ready to stay. We'll take him in pretty deep though, so Dark Margo does still go down, but the shards are out, the damage from the Kisses flying in. Thunder, they'll take out Tiger in return. This time, OG, they get the core kill, and BZM still trying to go for more. Remnant connection under the side, they'll try and cookie Matthew away from the Astral Step. He'll still get run down here by BZM, but the defensive is very good. It's there from Panda. Dissimulate will hit the infused range drop. Keeps Matthew alive. BZM won't get the kill. He'll barely get out as well there. Matthew nearly trapping him with the shard.
Look how much this is going on, how much attention is going on the mid lane. Even Pakaz comes over, everybody just looking to emphasize on that early game. OG's playing quicker than usual.
They're
Top
gonna smoke him.
Amar
Gets caught. He's on his own. Whilst the rest of his team's headed to go towards the mid lane, Amar having to deal with Mugger, but he's got enough damage. He's actually going to get away with the trade there. They're statically leaving. There was no follow-up.
and Pakaz.
Save the two of them, but that's a big kill there on the top for Amar there. You know, you saw from Dark Margo, he went for it, feeling that he had it, and he was so close, but the link, it turns things around.
There's 11 HP.
From Matthew, but that's going to be a snowball towards his head. Tackle shot from Seb in return. Matthew taken out.
OG's matching Thunder's aggression. Like, Thunder is usually the team that's playing a lot more aggressive. OG, from we've seen their style, usually tends back a little more, but they're getting some massive momentum coming here. Amar, now he's going to be too tanky for them to deal with. 1800 HP on this Razor. A big slip up from Dark Mago. That actually leads to them losing the mid tower, right? If he goes mid and he has Arena, potentially they can look to fight around there. So, big slip up for them.
It's still close towards the Blink Dagger, but indeed we're very unlikely going to see him try and make a solo move onto Amar again. They need to have a +1 if they want to attempt to kill that Razor. Amar now having all the space in the world top, he'll start working on this tier 1 tower.
It's always the little things that matter, right? Like Dark Mago, imagine he had even like a gauntlet or something, or if he had gone for something like phase boots in the mid lane.
That would have made a difference.
Would have made the difference, but he does want to be that big initiator for his team since they have an off-lane Snapfire.
Heading over, straight away, quick reaction. As soon as Panda shows himself, Seth locks him down.
Another tower gonna get dropped down very early on. These BKBs, I know T Governor was mentioning on panel how something that Awakens just might not be able to deal with, these early BKBs that are gonna be coming out. And set up for a good time for Amar to have it, probably around the 16-minute mark.
Thunder playing a little more careful now. They know that OG
Dire's top tower is under attack.
for action.
The blink is on Dark Mago, so I do still feel like they're going to play aggressive as they should. Can't just sit back and let OG farm Strikor.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now, OG will be forced back out of the jungle of Thunder Awaken.
3k gold lead already, though.
Very likely that they'll be back for more soon, and especially if they want to make moves around Amar. What will be a very, very quick BKB timing this game. And once he's in with the BKB, unlikely that Thunder's going to be able to take him down, especially if he gets a link off onto any of the cores of Thunder.
They'll have to catch him pre-BKB, which they still can do. Catching him from tree lines, either a quick spear. They do have availability from that and the chrono to be able to hold him down in place and just blast him with the Morpher Kisses. But he's tanky too. So a lot of different things that they're going to have to go through. And looks like it's a little bit of a downtime here. Thunder, they're going to farm a bit. Losing these tier 1s is pretty devastating. It starts to make it hard for you to get aggressive and get onto the enemy side. As Matthew.
Power in here, Matthew. He's going to get the back of Dark Margo in with the combo there. The spear to follow up the shards. A lot BZM down temporarily, but he's still able to jump out. Not enough follow-up burst damage to kill off the forward spray. It'll be fine.
They need Sacred in most of those situations. Whenever they have either the Chrono Spear or they have the Mars ulti, I think Sacred just has to be there to throw the damage inside. But he didn't want to be. I mean, right now he's still looking to farm this Blink Dagger so he can follow up with Dark Mago and always be in position. And he's got it. So I do think that they're still going to look to ramp up the pressure. Don't let OG sit back and farm like they tend to.
Pakaz as well, carefully pushing out that bottom lane. He's getting closer towards the Maelstrom.
Bottom of the cores, though, it is a void, so it does take a lot more time for you to farm in comparison to these Razors and CKs who just farm at this ridiculous pace.
Looks like they might want to try and find something here. I've got from the two of them, BZM and Seb ready to back up Amar.
OG's setting up for the fights, and Thunder, ideally they want to get a fight and try to push one of these towers, because he's unable to really catch the breaks here.
Oh, Shaka won't latch, Preston won't connect in time either. Kaz down to safety, and the backups arrive for Thunder.
Sacred.
OG's got to be careful themselves now.
Seb places the ward, immediately sees him. We'll be able to scurry away. We'll lose the ward.
Out.
But does save his life. Thunder, all position bottom now for this tower.
They've got every single ultimate as well, pretty much. Okay, outside the arena. Yeah, no, it's back up as well.
Back up.
The full team fight ready to go from Thunder.
Taiga, snowball's on him.
It's going to be a deep move here from Matthew. Seb, hold back the offensive capabilities of Panda with that shackle. OG, they'll also just back away from this tier 1. They know that Thunder's turned up in their numbers, and trying to take a fight into Thunder's ultimates head on is not going to be too easy for OG.
Yep, they'll just split up and farm. If they have BKB, they'll fight down there, which is getting pretty close for Amar, but see if Thunder can push that tempo to get that tower. So OG, like we said, they're playing farm game. Phantasm Muse, farming.
I'll see another attempt here. And towards Taiga. He has got the egg and the dive. The dive alone will be enough. And not quite enough burst here between those two. Taiga with a good escape. And that lead overall continuing to grow. 5k advantage to 2 cores. At the top right now, Yuragi and Amar. Quite that bit ahead of anything that Thunder Away can have at this point.
Shard now being picked up on the Wind Ranger in particular. Checking to see if anybody else actually did buy it. Not just yet. Shard, that Shard always has some like invisible impact, but also in this game in particular, it could slip things up of trying to focus an egg even. Just pushing them away from it or pushing them into it, could catch them in the stun. A lot of different cool things that you can do with it.
Absolutely, usually what as a Snapfire, you want to stand your ground and just rip into it with the little shredder, but if you're getting blown out of position, you're having to step back in each time to get that second hit, and it slows down.
It could trip him up.
Yeah, it makes it that little bit harder to really just immediately get the mass amount of hits into the supernova.
Because now we'll start to catch up in that farm. The Maelstrom is done, going straight for what looks like a Mjolnir next, so just wanting straight attack.
There's the jump.
Margo.
Themselves a quick kill here. Dark Margo instantly catching Taiga.
You're not going
That ward that they placed earlier. Will catch Seb.
Look towards Panda. Got the Gale Force as well. Trapping Panda pretty much as he's got nowhere to run. Amar's in on top. Over to the side, they've got the control. BZM catches him. The follow-up there from Yuragi as they drag him into the army of the CK's illusions.
Look at how long, I mean, that ward has lasted the entire duration. They were watching him for the entire, like a minute or so that he was farming those Ancients. Seb with some really good aggressive wards. Now putting a ward mid. He actually sees the tusk in the
to the side. They might be able to get more out of this. There's the setup here. Over towards Matthew. They'll try and save him with the cookie. Gets him out of the range of the dissimilate. BZM also low on the mana, so unlikely to want to try and dive for more. But the backup's now coming in for Thunder. Dark Margo back in around the tier 2 tower. OG, got to be a bit careful now, especially with Void up in 10 seconds, and the ultimates will be there.
Almost a double BKB timing for OG, though. CK's about to have it. Razor has it himself. That's going to put a pretty big dent into the damage that Thunder Awakens has to throw into this Chronosphere if they get the BKB off before that Chrono will be coming out.
See a short pause here. In terms of the build as well for sort of OG outside of the BKB, because we've got the Witchblade into the Aghanim, so the full damage from BZM.
I love that build.
And of course, just having that silence likely as well, if they get a few more good team fights under their belt, that he'll have that AoE silence before some of the dispel that's required on the cause of Thunder Awaken will be done.
It's just a really obnoxious one to get into the backlines and to stop any type of saves, right? Like if the Void Spirit gets Ags, he can jump into the back, stop the Snapfire ult, and then jump in and also stop Matthew from potentially saving people with Snowball. That silence is very annoying, and a big chunk of burst damage versus something like a Void is always something that you want.
Oh, for sure, and that's why we're seeing Sacred Blink Dagger into the BKB. Has to get the BKB to be able to play this game.
I saw he had Ags and Shard and stuff queued up, but yeah, he's starting to recognize. They're also starting to fall behind quite significantly. 7,000 gold lead already for OG. And BKB's online.
We're still yet to see Thunder find that opportunity to exercise the strength of their team fight when everything comes together around a Chrono from Picard's. I think the only Chronos we have seen are the ones where Thunder's had to save themselves and bail out of there.
They're starting the Roche, and they're going to be able to do it at full HP too, with the Fire Spirit slowing the attack speed. And that Chaos Strike is scanned. Thunder Awakens, this is the opportunity perhaps if they were there on time.
If they can get in with the ultimates, but it looks like that hesitation will mean that Thunder probably not going to have a chance of getting a look towards the Roche. Step out to the side as well, a bit of a distraction, and Amar will step over towards them to try and get some kills. They get the kill on the Roche, and Amar is in on top with a good long stabbing link on Matthew. It's going to be a lot of damage building up as Matthew dies immediately as the snowball comes to an end. OG They'll take the kill, they'll secure Roshan, they'll get that Aegis on Yuragi.
This is starting to look pretty problematic for Thunder Awakens. Dark Mago, I think he was like, what, 70 gold from the BKB, so they made the executive call to not go for the fight around there.
Now, whilst he may have that BKB, trying to find a fight into the BKBs of OG and the Aegis on the CK, it's not going to be easy for Thunder Awaken to slow OG down in these next few minutes.
Feels almost like they have to try. Otherwise, they're going to just continuously get out-farmed from this Razor and CK. Their Void, it continues to catch up, as we were mentioning, with that Maelstrom, but really starting to feel a lot of issues coming in for Thunder Awaken. But if anybody can do it, we've seen the way this team can fight back when they are behind.
Absolutely, and they've got the tools to do so.
They do.
If they can get some sort of insane Chronosphere out from Picard, it absolutely may just give them that chance to start the fight off getting a couple of kills against OG. Especially if you can get that catch before the BKB reactions there from OG's core.
Exactly. They do have the team fight advantage just with the amount of spells that they can throw into the Chrono, but OG continuously in the right position, break the smoke. Dark Magos did not break though, so he's still getting in position.
He's the PD rune as well, so...
Oh, now it breaks though.
Bubble from the void.
OG, they're so ready. In fact, they're ready to start making the jump themselves. They're immediately on to Dark Margo. They keep it down. No chance for the BKB to go off. As Dark Margo falls, Matthew as well to die.
Uh-oh, and things are really crumbling fast. BZM very quick with the Aether Remnant.
They're looking smooth here, OG. There was a bit of a slower start in the first few minutes where it looked like Thunder, they were the ones that were going to be the aggressors here in this action, but after those moments have passed, OG really taking over here. 10k lead at 21 minutes in, and the kill difference is not that big at all. It really is just the efficiency from OG, the way that they're getting so much more out of the map right now.
Everybody's farming on their side, right? Look at the Phoenix and Wind Rangers net worths compared to the counterparts. About 3,000 ahead on each. Very significant. You do see BZM's net worth being impacted a little bit from it, but it's perfectly fine.
Look at this timing here. I guess that was a comparison of one
match. So.
Sort of Phoenix is getting the Wraith back, but still nonetheless a good timing overall. They have that Wraith packed online 22 minutes in for the team.
It can offset a lot of that team fight advantage that we're mentioning that Thunder Awakens has. If they ever connect with their abilities, this might just be able to the thing to turn the tide. If OG gets caught inside of it, Sunray plus that is very effective. Top. Thunder just can't find anything.
Ma is on his own. Towards the triangle. Panda down. Dark Margo as well. They'll have to put the BKB to survive it. He's looking for the opportunity to maybe turn. Set something up in return. He's got the shackles and Sacred's in trouble. Sacred caught at the front of the team by the Supernova. Goes down. He tries to take it out. If the line connects, they won't be able to kill the egg off. It's 3 dead on Thunder. Dark Margo something to get that blink off after he gets rifted back by Yuragi. It would just be the two of them, Dark Margo and Picard, surviving. There's another fight where OG taking multiple heroes away from Thunder, and they're not losing anything themselves. They still have the Aegis good to go on Yuragi. They'll take the tier 2 down in the mid. They're ready to go for more here, OG.
The damage is just starting to be... It's even if they do connect with their spells now at this point on Thunder Awaken, it's really starting to feel like they might not even have the damage to be able to go through the tankiness of OG. Matthew forced himself bottom, but immediately spotted OG playing fast.
See the TP's come in. They're not going to be able to get here in time though to save Matthew. The question is if Thunder can hit back at all themselves. Dark Margo's going to jump in. Get the spin back on BZM. Chrono boy catching the two of them. They'll focus BZM first. They've got the damage to bring him down. See if they can turn more. Yuragi, he's in straight away on top of Panda. The Pugner has to run. Shackle. The Gale Force as well. Blowing back Picard over towards Yuragi. Get the stun in. Rift as well. Dragging him back there in onto the void.
Shackle again.
Shackle again. Locking them down. Thunder Awaken. Everybody's dead.
They poured it into that fight too that started with a decent chrono, but a disaster quickly unfolds. Sab back-to-back shackles, pulls the void back in after his time loss.
This is looking incredibly smooth here from OG. 24 minutes in, it's still early, but they're completely crushing Thunder Awaken. They're going to take away this final tier 2 tower. Thunder Awaken just not finding any opportunities this game to fight. It seemed like a good start here with the chrono, but it just wasn't enough to have a chance of taking the fight overall, Fog.
It takes him such a long time to kill the initial target. Then the Wraith Pact is down. Picard is hitting it. He's
and here we go. The range of this shackle into the Gale Force. You just can't run from this man.
And look at the chaos stun. Oh, the stun, it follows. Gets that poor void. And then a follow-up shackle, of course, to boot.
proving to be very, very difficult so far this game one for Thunder Awaken.
And Seb now immediately with that Blink Dagger that he just purchased up too, gets a deep ward. This might catch Thunder Awaken off guard too if they try to go for a setup.
OG's ready to jump again. Thunder. Might not be prepared for this. Dark Margo stepping up. KB will be available, but the Shackle's already there. They've got them set up. Matthew on the high ground. Uragi's already got it on top of Sacred, takes them out. Dark Margo not even going to be able to run.
This game is over. There's nothing that the Thunder can do.
25 minutes here. OG just dominating Thunder Awaken.
What a dismantling too, except they never gave them opportunity to land their big spells at all. OG was playing pretty split up, but they were still also playing aggressive this game. It's 23-9.
See a little bit of a breather here for Thunder Awaken with the fact that there's no creeps right now, so a bit of moments of backdoor protection.
But they have, how do you bring down this Razor and CK now? Your Void is so far behind, your other two cores as well. This looks like smooth sailing for OG for the rest of this one.
See what sort of move Thunder will try here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Any way to try and push OG off the barracks.
BKB is on cooldown. OG does have to get a bit of respect inside of the base, so Strax will live.
We'll keep it up for now, Thunder Awaken. To lose the set in the mid lane.
Economical damage, though. It's massive. Pekka's trying to find anywhere that he can farm and finish off this BKB, but he's so far away.
Dire are scanning.
Huge amounts of pressure on Pekka. It has to be a game-changing Chronosphere from him.
Feels like he needs the 5-man with some kisses flying over. Pre-BKBs. Even then, OG very tanky. And so many ways for them to initiate the fights, as we've seen. OG just always seems to be the ones to get the start off. Either with the Seb, Shackle, or BZM getting these quick Aether Remnants. Thunder under the gun. And
he's gonna opt for the TP out, but Seb is always there ready to stop him. In with the Shackles, and meanwhile Uragi elsewhere, he's taking out Dark Margo.
You can't escape.
They just don't stop getting the kills here, OG. Thunder Awaken just constantly having at least one of their players out of the game, making it very hard for them to pull together any sort of team fight in the mid. They get the jump, they get the grab, he's locked down, taken out, Pekka's is gone. No buyback on him as well, out for a minute. This will give OG the chance to get straight back to work down the mid, take out that mid set of barracks, and yeah, there it is. GG, it's called 27 minutes in OG. In this game one, they made it look easy for them. The biggest stomp we've had on the main stage out of today and yesterday, and I think we're going to struggle to find a game closer to this level of stompiness. It was a rough one for Thunder.